Oh.
Ada audio-nya, blur aja pakai kamera.
Mau cekan dulu.
Itu, kenapa geser kameranya anjing?
Cekan.
Aduh. Beraya saya nyeting ya. Lah, kira-kira aku blur.
Yang itu kan di blur.
Tapi silent bener ya? Iya, jadi itu bener ini. Oh, nih.
Waduh. Right. Have you watched our friend's video? Citra's? Yes? Have you watched the video? Good. Yes. Now you watch me now. Yeah. I'm going to explain to you about the use of call and language classroom. You know call, right? My friend have explained it to you. Call is computer assisted learning. Computer assisted language learning. Yes. In the classroom now. Okay. And now the uses of call are almost uncountable. There are many uses of call in classroom, especially according to the his name is hard. Okay. Editor will write his name here. Okay. Deshinsky. Okay. Deshinsky and Egbert in 2005. Okay. Here are the names. Wow, magic. Yeah. And they mention these uses. Okay. The first one, number one, here. This is number one. Collaborative project. With 2 to 4 or more students, research can be conducted using data from the internet. Okay. Data analysis can be done using data management or statistical application like charts, graphics, text, for example, can be produced to present to the rest of the classroom. That Miyagi, a Japanese researcher, reported that a joint project between two different student groups from Japan and United States have been conducted successfully. And that's an amazing thing. Collaborative project, okay. And the second is peer editing composition. The exchange of information between medias over the internet offers the students the option of peer editing of drafts of composition. It means that instructors can utilize the use of email, of online bulletin boards to interact with the students, or vice versa, backwards. The instructor can manage the outcome more easily using these medias. So what it means that the students or the teacher can exchange the information through emails or other bulletin medias that can be used. And the teacher can manage this data more easily because of the server used that stores the data and easily searchable. And now we move to the email. This is number 3, okay? The last one was number 2. Now this is number 3, okay? 3, okay. Magic, 3 appears. Okay, good. The most used aspect of the email for students to learn English is the possibility of interacting with people from all over the world. So as you may see, email can be used to interact with other people far away from you. Let's say I'm in Indonesia and I can send email to America easily. Discussion provided is fast because, well, you can discuss everything in email, right? be it writing or reading, could be both. This is why email pen pals is getting more popular back in the day. It's very popular back in the day, and right now we're moving to chatting. It's basically email but faster. Although people use modern apps nowadays like Twitter, Discord, Reddit, and the like to communicate to each other, not just email, because usually email is very slow. And teachers have used email for many things like collaborating with students or other teachers for projects and etc. etc. Nowadays, email can be used to send materials to students via Google Classroom and such. And the next is blogs. And blogs is very famous. You've encountered one. If you've been to the internet, there's 100% chance that you've been into one of those blogs that give many information. Blogs are well known for being all over the internet. Blogs itself are easy to use. It is a place where someone can share their thoughts, interact with others, give or ask for feedbacks, share files, etc. etc. Story, your drawing, video, it can be done in blogs. Nowadays you can find blogs for free everywhere. Google Blogspot is one of the prime example of free blogs that can be utilized for free, and it's pretty good for a free blog. WordPress can also be used, but yeah, most of the time WordPress is limited to words. You'd be better using Google Blocks. And the next is number 5. Okay, 5. Whoa, 5 magically appears. Yeah. Being an editor must be suck because he has to edit my talks. Yeah, I'm sorry, editor. Yeah. By the way, the editor is here. Censor that, editor. You have to censor yourself. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there was a blur. I don't know what was in the blur. Yeah, I don't know. Yes. And number 5, web-based bulletin board communication. With the increasing use of discussion medias, students can choose the means to accomplish their objectives, such as problem solving, data comparison, drafting compositions, etc., etc. Okay, by using up the bulletin board's discussion sites, teacher can give the students more options on their means of approach. I mean, yeah, you can find many information on web-based bulletin boards. The big example is Reddit and 4chan. Although if you want to go to 4chan, you better be careful because there's a lot of filtering that you need to do if you want to go there to search for information. So yeah, it's better use Reddit, even though there are many dangerous places in Reddit too. And the 6th, okay, 6, 3 plus 3, 6 is web page design. Now, many institutions nowadays have offered their students the options to take course in web page design. So it's a new thing nowadays. People have been offering it. Many computer users back then are self-taught, so they learn the arts of computer, if I have to say, by themselves or with books. Lynch and Horton's 2002 is one of the example of the books. And usually, if that's not the case, they just do it themselves, like I said. In doing so, the students not only experience the technology firsthand, but also the use of English in their research, composing, designing, and collaboration. So yeah, the courses they take not only teaches the computer wizardry, but also English wizardry. Isn't that cool? Yes. And the seven is video conferencing. A popular media for conference today is live video or live stream. As long as the hardware like camera and mic are available, the sites that provides such service can be found everywhere. Let's say Skype. Skype is a big thing back in the day. Nowadays, people use Zoom. Zoom is the best example of live stream teaching learning media. Twitch can be used, but it's kind of hard to set up. YouTube Live is easier than Twitch because you can just turn on the live button and you're set to go. And many other things. This provides more dimensions to the long distance interaction. So it's better than just texting. You can now see and hear, although you cannot feel yet. Maybe in the future we can feel other people from distance. That will be creepy. Okay, number 8. 4, yes. Reinforcement of classroom materials. With the wide availability of software programs, course objectives can be reinforced with add-on materials that are made available and accessible. So nowadays, you can add complementary materials to the subject that you've learned or you've teach easily by just Googling. Nowadays, many textbooks have CD or discs or video materials or even Blu-rays that accompanies them. So books now have a video option. They are filled with practice exercise, self-check tests, or even extra reading and visual material. So it's win-win. Some course programs features a dedicated website that is regularly updated, or an online section in each unit, which encourage the use of internet-related activities. So nowadays, a book is not only on offline, but also online. Not only offline, but also online. You can find extra materials that the book provides on the online sites that the book provides. That is amazing thing. I hope many books do that. The process of learning foreign language can be enhanced through the application that offer lexical and grammatical information at believable and controllable and controlled points of difficulty. So yeah, nowadays you have complementary online materials. Isn't that good, huh? And the 9 is podcasting. It's just what I do now, although I have video, not just audio. Another famous media nowadays is podcasting, or just podcast. You can find it in YouTube everywhere. Just tap podcast. The one that I recommend to you is Supermega, because they are fun. And
Jokes.
Tiny Meat Gang. Tiny Meat Gang is fun. Jokes, I don't know. Is that a podcast? I have no idea. Podcast. Oh yeah. There are many good stories in jokes, but it's just one guy talking. If you want 2 or more people on a podcast, Sleepy Cast, Supermega Cast, and Tiny Meat Gang. Those are the 3 prime examples of good podcasts that I like to hear. I listen to them whenever I go back home to Balangan. Yeah, okay, because it's around 6 hours, around 5 episodes of podcast. It's very good. And it is a method of uploading and sharing multimedia files, usually audio or music video, over the internet for playback on mobile device or PCs. Podcast itself can be a source of authentic listening for students of English And if students have portable device on them like phone, you have phone, yes, you can listen to the podcast everywhere, anytime, everywhere. Yeah, that's the gist of it. Podcast is really fun and really easy. You should listen to podcasts, okay? And the next is games and simulation. We all know games and simulation. Most of us actually know English from games and simulation. Myself included. Okay, I've played one too many games, and now I can speak English. I didn't even learn English. And that is the most cases of people, young people nowadays. Uh, okay, both academics and teachers have been writing about the benefits of using games in language classroom for many years. Wright et al. His name is hard. Okay, his name is Wright et al. In 1984. Lee So Kim, is Korean guy, and Uberman, 1998. Erzos, and Yong Mei and Eugene. Not Eugene Krab, okay. Eugene, Chinese guy, okay. Eugene. And some, I have no idea how to pronounce this name. Sorry, okay. Thi Tan Huyen and Quat Thi Tu Ga.
Vietnamese.
Yeah, Vietnamese. Vietnamese have weird names.
Oh, that's racist. I'll censor that.
Vietnamese fix your name. And they are pretty much agreed that games provided a useful and meaningful context for language use. It encouraged the students to interact and communicate, both challenge and reduce the anxiety of the teaching and learning activities. And many of these games presents the students with stimulating problem solving tasks, which they must use functional English language to pursue the goal of the game. So a game is not just simple minded games, okay? Games nowadays needs you to learn English most of the time, because the game language is English, and if you do not know English, you basically cannot play most of the game, or at least you will have a hard time playing the game. And the prime example of the game that use English to its finest are RPGs or adventure games, because they rely mostly on the story element, and that gives the game itself a big English point. Okay, you have to understand English to read the story and to continue the gameplay. And the example of those games are Final Fantasy, Harvest Moon, and Grand Theft Auto. Well, we all know that we played GTA a lot back in the days. I played GTA a lot back in the days, and now look at me. You don't want to be me, okay? And carefully planned use of such games in classroom adds considerable amount of interest to a course, especially if the curriculum or traditional mechanical drills are, let's say, boring to the students. And a good example of good games that can be used in classroom is, what is the game that Mr. Arif used to us?
I forget.
Yeah, it's kind of like Hago, but it's not Hago. I forgot. It's Kahoot. Yeah, Kahoot. The game is Kahoot. Actually. Yeah, Kahoot.com. It's a cool platform that can be used as a game for teaching and learning English. This is Kahoot. Yeah. Editor, please. Kahoot. Yeah. Okay. He understands. And finally, with the release of VR, virtual reality, a teacher can mix long distance learning with fun and engaging games in virtual world. And you know that VR exists nowadays, right? And there is an application called VR Chat, where you can go to a virtual world using VR headset, and in those virtual world you can do anything you want. You can play as an avatar, and you how do I say it, you share your knowledge, your teaching and learning process there. It's basically you can see other people in 3 dimensions with VR, and it's amazing. Imagine you can use that for teaching and learning activities. Maybe in the future, yeah, when VR are cheaper, maybe. Let's hope. And then off to the next material, number 11. 11. How do okay? I don't have, yeah, 11. Amazing. Ooh, ghost hands. Yes. Most of the current standardized tests are now computer adaptive. Yeah. During early item, right and wrong answers are electronically analyzed in order to present the best option for later items. From a bank of possible items that will be neither too easy or too difficult. It will not be too easy or too difficult. It's just the right amount of difficulty, and therefore you will give the optimal challenge. Test taker need to be aware of technology and develop appropriate strategies to respond. Well, what it means by this is that everything is online. You've been answering tests in UAS, yeah, ulangan akhir semester, and it's online. That is the example of this. And well, online UAS is amazing, but I hope they delete UAS fully, so it'll be easier. But well, it's for the future. Who knows? Number 12 is speech recognition software. An amazing degree of accuracy is now available in software designed to process human speech and analyze the production. This program can be used in many ways. In other words, have many potential applications, including simple exercise in pronunciation and electronic visual feedback. It is shown that the accuracy of learners' control of it can show the accuracy of learners' control of phonetic and prosodic elements. And by the way, an example of speech recognition software is Google text to speech, and you just say, "Hey Google," and it will, if you say the word correctly, it will recognize the word by typing it, and that's amazing. Use that often, okay? You can use that to practice your phonology. And now next to the 13, the next material, Concordancing. With billions of linguistic corpus data readily accessible through the internet, the process of concordancing has become very simple and fast. Student who wish to research the context of words, and or teacher who is planning a grammar or vocabulary lesson can easily find such resource available online. I'm sorry, too many talks. My mouth dries. One of the prime example is Google service in translation. A mere tap in words can be dissected instantly within a blink of seconds, meaning that the way it is pronounced is also the meaning and the way it is pronounced is also included, which is amazing breakthrough that we took for granted nowadays. Easily researchable materials through the internet. I hope we use internet more for research. And finally, both students, language, and teacher have used PowerPoint and other medias for their presentation to make it more dimensional and interesting, which is also interactable. Whether it is a student or a researcher, this computer-based technology have proven to be capable and universally popular. That is what Brown said. That is number 14, okay? Multimedia presentation. And okay, that's pretty much all of my materials. And